we'll figure it out when we get there.
Yep.
Good to go?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Hey, you guys, I'm not hindering your ability.
No, I just, I don't want to be nervous. I'm already nervous.
What you nervous about?
All right, here we go. Welcome back to another episode of your favorite podcast, Sippin' the Dry, brought to you by Roll Fly Rod. I'm Sean, your host, and today I have my normal co-workers and co-hosts, Kyle and Seth, down there on the end.
Co-host.
And a very special guest here in the shop today, Mr. Bobby Arnold. How are you, sir?
Pretty good. How are you doing?
Good. You were on a previous episode. You are Prostaff here in the shop and a legend in both Tennessee and right here in Dayton. Howard.
Boy, I spread it thick, but
we appreciate you coming into the shop. It's kind of spur. You just happened to be in town.
I went up north, Steelhead fishing with Ryan, and just swing back through Dayton, visit with you guys.
Absolutely.
Do us another podcast and go.
I love it. I love it every time you're here because you come with such good stories about everywhere you've been. And I know we're going to get into it, but also, Seth, what are you doing down there with this crazy contraption?
With this crazy, I'm just threading my hook up.
Are you?
Okay, I'm just starting to thread the top, running my way back.
What are you tying? For the people who can't see you and are listening.
Well, it's kind of a Murdich minnow, but it's got a different slight backstory. So that trip I went up to Michigan, went smallmouth fishing.
Okay, when you went with Phil?
Yeah, when I went with Phil. So Phil started tying one after that he just came by the shop not too long ago. I want to say MFC's going to be carrying it here. It's going to be Cook's Munchie minnow.
Nice. Cook.
So it's closer to the traditional, Murdich tie.
Okay.
But with, the Phil sauce on it, so.
Phil, for the people who don't know, Phil is our Scott rep.
Scott, Echo, Airflow. He does MFC. He's got a couple other guys that he's doing.
He picked up another one, too.
With the magnets and...
Yeah, I forget the name of that, though.
the name of it.
Yeah, accessories, though.
Yeah, really cool
guy. Mad you didn't remember.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know, but yeah.
We'll put it down in the description.
Yeah, exactly.
There we go.
So for everybody who doesn't know, Seth has his phone up here and he's recording himself tying a fly while we film this podcast. So if you're watching this on YouTube or wherever you're watching, you can watch Seth tie this fly.
Maybe we'll get a little side by side.
As we talk. I really want to put this on.
And Seth on the left or something. So, Sean's a good editor.
Yeah, more often than not, when you find a Murdich, it's only ever going to be a single hook. But this one, we're going to get a little fancy and try to articulate it.
An articulated Murdich minnow. Okay.
And have you decided what kind of flash you're going with?
I may just keep it traditional with my pearl and white.
Okay. I like this olive color right here.
Hey, that
kind of looks like a Christmas tree.
And that's really only going to come into the end. At the end for the head, so we'll see when we get there.
You don't want to admit that it's almost Christmas season?
No, because Thanksgiving hasn't happened, and if I hear Mariah Carey start playing, I'm gonna be mad.
Oh Lord, he said it already.
Oh my gosh.
Great, now we set them off.
Yep. She is thawing as we speak.
It's too early for it. I'm sorry.
It's gonna be an aggressive fly.
It's gotta be.
That was me and Ryan were out coming back last night. It was Halloween. We got to look at it. I was like, man, they've already got their Christmas out.
Who?
Some people up there, and I got to look, and I was like, no, it's Halloween decorations. I mean, it was lit up like Christmas.
Okay.
They had pumpkins on top of trees and all kinds of stuff. I was like,
hey. There's been some people, I've seen some funnier Halloween displays with, skeletons getting ran over by lawnmowers or stealing bones of each other's. Mm-hmm. So,
yeah, my neighbor's got a riding mower with a skeleton sitting on it in his front yard. And it looks like there's been bones that's been chucked out of the chute,
Yep, exactly.
And another neighbor of mine, he changes his display every day.
Every day?
Or every other day, or
once a week. That would be insane.
I think he does it a couple times a week.
That is dedication.
Because I go through there and I look, I was like, well, he's got like last week he had the Tennessee and Alabama uniforms on. Then a few days before that, he had it with a tent setting there, a little fire pit, like a woman skeleton and a man skeleton sitting there with the coffee, just like they were chilling, sitting
just
there.
Hanging out, camping in his front yard.
It was cool.
Wow. Are they the big size skeletons? Because I've seen a couple of those this year.
5 or 6 foot.
Scale. Oh, okay, because they have 26 footers. Oh, have you seen those?
Oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh, my neighbor's got 2 of them, and it looks like one of them lost his arm to a skeleton dog that he's walking, and that was a big hit this year. So, yeah, pretty awesome.
You're gonna stop by Spirit Halloween on your way home?
Myself, absolutely, because they are like 50% off. I want a skeleton for
Sean's
my
a deal
passenger
hunter.
seat,
Yeah,
and I feel like it'd be fun. You know,
he'll be rocking it for Christmas.
Yeah, he
Put a
absolutely
Santa
will.
hat on.
Yeah, that's
I
what I
could
was gonna say.
change him.
He'll deck it out for Christmas.
He's gonna buy his costume for the next 4 or 5 years.
Yeah,
I would
he'll be
say.
Oh yeah,
For
no,
half
okay.
price, you know.
You know,
Spend
it's all
30.
about the deals.
$30 and make out pretty nice.
Absolutely. Oh my goodness, Bobby, you fished with Ryan. For
Yes.
everybody who doesn't know, Ryan used to work here, and he is in some previous episodes. I can't remember when, but I know we go over muskie fishing and multiple others. So you went up because you're from Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
You went up into Indiana to see him, and
Yep.
you guys were steelheading.
Yes.
Okay.
First day, it would rain. Done some fishing, cool outside. The waters was still fishable, but not bad. You know, it had a little color to it,
Okay.
a little cloudy, but
Yeah.
not bad. Monday we went out. Water was blown out, and it was chocolate milk.
Chocolate milk.
Yeah, it
couldn't
was-
see nothing, running fast.
We were standing there, and I just stuck my rod tip in the water just to see how far down we could see. And it might have had 1.5 to 2 inches of clarity in the water.
Okay.
I mean, we still fished it all day. You know, 'cause
Okay,
you never
so
know.
for somebody like myself, I don't steelhead a lot, so this could be terrible news for me because I know a lot about trout. So steelheading, this is equally as bad. Chocolate milk, fast running water.
Yep.
You're still gonna have a rough day, but you decided to keep trucking ahead because you tried.
Yes.
So what were you throwing? What were you using?
I tied up some egg patterns.
Okay.
And I was tossing those and throwing them under an indicator on about a 15-foot leader. Never got any bumps, hookups, or nothing. Ryan was throwing his traditional streamers, you know, and
Yeah.
neither one of us were having any luck. I mean, we were hitting it really hard, and it just didn't work out for us. And yesterday, we fished all day long, cold, snowing.
What a Halloween, man! I tell
Yeah,
ya.
it was a white Halloween, you know. Everybody wants a white Christmas. Well, they got a white
You
Halloween.
missed my birthday,
Yeah.
so I'm happy about that. We're good.
But yeah,
How
it
old are
was,
you
it was insane, though. I enjoyed it. I really did. Had a blast. You know, got to see the waters, different areas, how they
Yeah.
do it. And, you know, it was a real treat. It really was. And if I had a chance to do it again, didn't catch no fish, I'd do it again.
You do it again.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
We'll hopefully catch fish.
yeah. Catch a fish is the bonus. You know, the road trip that's what I like. It's the road trips.
Yeah.
The new scenery, the different waters.
That's the first time you've been up there and seen Ryan's new place since he
Yes.
left us and moved back home to Indiana.
Last time I seen Ryan was last October.
Really? Yeah.
Me
That was probably
and-
about when you were here on the
Yeah.
podcast.
Me, Ryan, and Father Greg
Yep.
That's right.
went and fished at the club and fished the Mad.
That's right. Yeah.
Sure did.
Yep. That's good times. You fish a lot down in Tennessee. We
Oh,
talk
yeah.
probably once, twice a week about fishing down in Tennessee. And how is that right now? Like, what are you looking into doing?
Last 2 weeks ago, I went and fished Tellico.
Okay.
And usually there's a regular, normal asphalt road that takes you up to where the good fishing areas are. And you go, but now the bridge is out. And they don't know when they're going to get the bridge fixed. So you got to go through the mountain. And it's 17 miles.
17 miles through the mountain.
17 miles through the mountain.
What does that mean for somebody who grew up in Dayton?
You may hear banjos.
Oh my lord! I don't doubt it. My
If
friend.
I'm on the
Holy crap.
water and I hear banjos coming from out from the distance, I'm gonna be so happy.
He's out in the boonies fishing.
I don't think you understand how nice that sounds.
It usually takes me 30 minutes to get to the, there's a store back there called Green Cove Lodge or Store and Lodge, whatever.
You hear that as a shout out, Green Co.
Green Cove.
Green Cove.
Not
Yeah.
a sponsorship.
Not sponsorship.
Not yet.
Not yet, exactly. But I went through the mountain and got back there, and it was just an absolutely beautiful ride through the mountains. I mean,
Yeah.
absolutely gorgeous.
I can only imagine.
And that's the
seeing
first
that.
time I had ever went in that way. Like I said, it was 17 miles, and it took me, you know, with the stop, look, oh man, check this out, you know, snapping pictures. It was probably an hour and a half to 2 hours.
Even though you live there, you still just see the majesty of that state.
Yes,
and
I mean,
all
it
its
just
beauty.
always does that to me.
Absolutely.
That's like coming up Interstate 75 whenever I left Saturday. the color. We're starting to get the color in the trees.
Coming through Kentucky and into southern Ohio. Yeah.
And it was, I love it. I mean, but I went back there, I fished, had pretty good luck, come back out and fished some more holes that, where they had the road closed off. So I just parked, walked in.
Just spot hopping. Absolutely.
Yeah. And caught quite a few fish. And actually used some different patterns of what I normally use up there and had really good success on them.
Right. That's good, though.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That'll definitely have to put some more of those patterns in my fly box for sure.
True. And, oh, my goodness. You was it you that lost a fly box recently that you got out of?
Lost 2.
You lost 2.
That's right.
I've lost 2 fly boxes.
Oh, man.
And
Hate to put you on blast for that.
Your fishing kicked it and
Why you gotta
stripped it down the
expose
river.
him like that?
I mean, that's terrible. You gotta watch. What are you doing differently to stop that from happening again?
well,
Tethering him.
I bought, put one of these iPhone chips in them or
Yeah,
something
Little
to track
air
it
tag.
down.
Air tags.
Bobby's coming to your house. I want you to know
Yeah,
that.
I
You get one of these
will
boxes.
hunt you down. But normally I use a vest. I usually use a vest, and I'll put certain stuff in certain pockets, and I'll pick out a fly, tie it on,
Yeah.
and I forget to zip it back up. And I'm in swift water. It's loud. You can't hear if it splashes down on you or something, and you're like, you lost your fly, you wore it out, you broke it off, whatever. Oh shit! You start looking for some more and some more. You're like, and then you're looking all over the bank and everything, and that's happened to me twice.
Oh, dude, I've left packs behind. I've put stuff on the ground and walked away. Yeah, man.
Oh my gosh, no. I'm super paranoid, so I double check.
Yeah.
I ordered
I
that
say
fish pond sling pack. Love
Yeah.
it, absolutely love it. I was like, this will cure me
Cured
from
you,
losing
yes.
the fly boxes.
So you went from a vest to the pack. I'm trying to go from a pack to a vest, so maybe I shouldn't.
Well, I've been telling you not to for months.
I really want to. It's
I just
that,
got the vest.
it's that aesthetically pleasing vest.
It's the best of both worlds, Sean.
Yeah.
Just a hip pack.
Just a hip pack?
Yeah.
Oh, see,
Something-
if anybody remembers, Tim always had the hip pack. I
Yeah.
talked way too much crap about him and that hip pack to
Yeah.
ever own one.
I guess even if you want one now, you can't go
I
back.
can't
Yeah.
do that.
It's just a pride thing at this point.
It's like
Yeah.
your own thing.
It's like you and your no thing. Yeah. We were talking about something else earlier this morning, too.
What were we talking
I
about?
forget.
But
I
yeah,
don't even know if it was fishing related.
the vest. I really love the vest.
Oh,
I
man
like the
buns.
pack.
Man buns, yeah. Yeah, said you could rock a man bun, and he said, yeah, even if I
Borderline
could.
disrespectful.
Yeah, he said, even if I could, not going to.
Man buns are borderline disrespectful.
You went from man bags to man buns.
Worry about you, Seth. I want you to know that. And this is,
Hey,
this
I
is
said
on the podcast.
It's a
No.
safe place for
I
it.
said absolutely not. I made fun of him too much. I couldn't do it.
That's true. Fair enough.
Yeah.
How's your fly down there? For those who
Oh,
can't
it's-
watch, it
it's-
looks like you've added some.
It's getting fuzzy over here.
What is that white fluffy stuff that you've added there?
It's a UV polar chenille. UV pearl.
Polar Chanel pearl.
Hairline's greatest.
Just filling in some space.
Okay, and that's going to give you the body of that fly. And shimmer.
More so just the shimmer. I mean, it's kind of just filling in. There's
Okay.
going to be some other stuff around it that's just going to kind of cover it up a little bit, but it'll do what I need it to.
No double hook.
Oh no, we're double hooking.
Double hooking.
I just got to tie the back fly before I can tie the front one because I got to tie the front one over
Nice.
the connection. So
What kind of
Okay.
beads you put
this
in the
needs to
middle?
be done. Well, I don't have any beads today, so we're just gonna go beadless. We're gonna let her free
Okay.
flow.
Okay.
Now, what is the difference when you add a bead versus when you don't?
So the beads are just gonna keep it a tighter connection, so you won't get as much fumbling. It won't wrap around on itself as much.
Okay. So maybe, and is it more of a noise thing? I was wondering if there was a noise factor
If
in there.
you left some space, I could see it, but more often than not, it's more so just to be that spacer.
Okay. And if people, I'm sorry, but if people doesn't know, articulation means that he's going to have two hooks, and the back hook is going to be tied.
You know what every fly needs more of?
More hooks.
Hook.
And they're going to be tied together. What would you call that? Eyelet to hook? And it'll give it the swimming motion that he's looking
Essentially.
for with a minnow.
But you got to get the spacing right, and technically without a bead, I could choke them up, but then the hooks are kind of too close, and there's not enough space between them, so it's a fine line.
Need to get you to start tying some cone heads.
I was thinking about tying
Yeah.
up some meat whistles
Mhm.
for this, because it's a little bit more universal of a
It
fly
is.
for people.
Yeah.
But
Hey, give him time. He's going to have a treble hook on it. He says more hooks. He
Yeah,
will, he
more
will,
hook. I don't.
He will incorporate a
I've
treble
never
hook.
tried
figure it
tying a
out.
fly with a treble, but I've been interested in it. Like a trailing treble, I feel like that wouldn't be too bad.
Silence.
Yeah, it's
Can't hook them, we'll snag them.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
You
That's
said
how
you
you
went
wanna-
fishing with Ryan, right? Oh no, it's all jokes. We love Ryan.
Absolutely. Ryan's a good dude. And it's good to hear he's doing well.
Yeah, so he's doing really well. Likes his job, likes where he's at. And
Yeah,
so
he's,
he's doing really good.
That's good to hear. That's great to hear.
I think this is real fun whip finishing.
See what you got.
All right. So if you want to tune in now, I don't know where we are in the podcast, but Seth's going to do a whip finish
Yeah, if I can get it on the thread.
on his fly here. He's going to fumble through it here on camera because nobody's nervous doing this. People are watching.
Especially when someone's talking.
And people are
behind
talking
you.
about it.
Can you do that?
There we go.
Commenting in the background. Look at that.
Oh yeah.
Using his right wrist to flick around. Did it break?
Oh yeah, dude, that went right off the tip there. That's great.
There we go. See, that's what happened. That's fly tying. This is real, people.
It's okay, because before I started that, I threw 2 half hitches so it wouldn't come off.
Listen, 2 half hitches stop it from coming off. All right, well, he fixes that.
Yeah. I mean, it's not really that important. I can just dab it with super glue and call it a day if I really wanted to.
Bobby, what kind of advice you got?
Fair.
It's that Renzetti. Traveler.
Renzetti? Yeah, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Love it. I mean, it's
About the most universal you
I
can get.
mean,
yes.
you can
Not
tie,
gonna break the bank, but it's got everything you need to.
I need to get me a midge jaw for mine.
There you go.
I was gonna say you only tie things in the 18 to 20 range.
Pretty much.
Him and Greg, yeah.
I mean, yeah, small.
Small. I mean,
I've been tying-
for your water types, it makes sense.
I've been tying a few streamers, but size 2, size 4 woolly buggers,
Okay.
So are you going more nymph base or dry flies when you tie?
nymphs.
Nymphs, yeah.
Yeah, do a lot of nymphs. Well, I mean, I do a lot of nymph fishing.
I was gonna say you're a Perdigon guy, aren't you?
Perdigons, pheasant tails, midges, betas.
Dropping some of that Zappa cap on the top of that.
Yeah.
Just on the end of that thread.
This time of year, we'll start using a lot of eggs because they produce really well.
Mm-hmm.
Produce a lot of big fish.
There you go. Isn't it more so a competition base at that point? Like, big fish aren't eating those eggs because they're hungry. They're eating the eggs because they want their eggs in the system and not others.
I don't know, but
I
good
mean,
question.
that makes sense to me. I don't know. We'll have to look that up. We're going to fact check that. Somebody be down in the comments for me. Tell me if Seth's random facts. Or I guess I could do the little
My
thing at the bottom
ramblings.
again where it'll pop up and tell you. It's like down here.
Seth was wrong.
It's like right now. I think it's the browns that are producing or laying their eggs, and the rainbows are really dialing in on them. And then the rainbows will start here shortly,
Okay.
and then vice versa. The browns will start dialing in on those.
So that's normally when it's. So the beginning of November is when the Browns will start doing their spawn, so they're running
Yeah.
up in there. So are they? Are you catching those, or are they not eating? Or
Yeah. Oh yeah. We're still catching.
they're still catching them. That's so good.
This year I didn't get to do as much fishing as I wanted because man, we just had so many days of extreme heat.
Yeah. Oh, it was hot. Absolutely,
I mean,
it was hot.
The outside temp alone would be mid-90s.
And that's down there in Tennessee. That's that muggy,
Yeah.
humid.
You guys go a week
can't-
without rain, too.
We went
Impossible.
weeks
Yeah.
without rain.
You went weeks
Water
without
levels
rain?
Sand up there.
Yeah, and my grass looks just like this. I mean,
Yeah.
it still does.
And
It still does.
Crunchy.
You walk across it, it sounds like you're walking on toast.
Yep. Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy. You go out at, like me, I get up, go to work at 5 o'clock in the morning. Mm-hmm. Go outside on the back deck, have a cup of coffee before I get ready, and it's 93 degrees with 95% humidity.
Yep.
And it's like you can taste the
I
humidity.
was gonna say all the
terrible.
water's up in the air.
Yeah, I mean, you get in your car to go to work, and it's like it poured the rain from the humidity that's laid on the dew. It's laying on your windshield. And everything.
just
And it's just
like a wet
insane. And then we've done a remodel on our home. Don't recommend it.
no, don't recommend the remodel here.
I do not recommend the remodel.
Take one thing away from the episode.
Oh,
Don't remodel your home.
it's stressful. It was 2 weeks, of living on the couch, living in a corner. It's just because the whole inside of my house, the main upstairs was just flooring, paint, new countertops, backsplash, all that stuff.
Wife's idea?
She's going to watch this, so yes. So I'm going to go ahead and blame it.
That's a good answer.
Cutting into your fishing time.
Yeah.
Yeah, so honey, when you watch this, I should have been fishing. I'm just saying.
Been fishing.
I didn't say that one.
It was all his idea. He called me and let me in on this. Shot me a few texts, go fishing, let her worry about the home.
Yeah.
And I had to agree with him.
Yep.
That's a
feel like
bad
it should be
idea.
holding up a
Agreeing
sign,
with,
like,
agreeing with me
not
is never
endorsed.
smart bet.
So if some 5'5" lady shows up and wants to speak to you, and she's from Michigan too.
It's probably not the first time. I mean, we get asked all the time not to include receipts in the boxes that we're
Absolutely.
shipping.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's like,
Open
hey-
the front. It's just like, hey, do you want your receipt? No.
Don't want the wife to see this. Yep.
Okay.
Loud and
Split
clear.
payments up. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I like that one. That one's a good one. If you don't know how to do it, just split the payments between cards. We could do that for you.
Like, she sees a real fly rod box
I'm real good at
show up on the
making
front door. She doesn't even ask.
I'll make the receipt say what you paid for.
I just don't want to even know.
Whatever you told your wife, I'll make
I
it
love
say.
too that we use our that blue and white tape. That
Real fly
stripe, so
rod,
you just
yeah.
know what's in that box. I love it. That's good stuff.
So for you guys that's never ordered from here, you need to get the box. It just says real fly rod on it.
I'm very, very proud. Personally, as the shipping manager, I'm very proud of that box and that tape.
Hey, there's food for thought. They can take a picture of your invoice or your receipt and email it to you.
Yeah.
Maybe text message it to you.
Yeah.
If you need it.
We could do that.
If you need it for future references.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Or we could just send it straight to your email again, probably.
Make a spam email that they don't know about.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. IRS deduction. Entertainment.
It's pretty valuable stuff right here.
Yeah.
This is good information. I hope somebody out there is pen, piece of paper, because I'm not writing anything down.
Write that down. Write that down.
Excellent. Well, sorry, Seth. You picked up a second. I'm sorry, you picked up a second hook there, and you've got it working in your hand. What do you got going on now?
I'm just,
Is it the same pattern twice?
It's
pitched
kind of
together?
just, yeah.
Is that kind of what we're
In a
doing?
sense,
Okay.
you're kind of just making the same fly twice, slightly different materials on the front of
Okay.
each one. But, I mean,
Basically like a stinger hook.
it's
A trailing hook.
That's all it is. It's just a trailing fly, and more often than not, you pick up any other articulated fly, and I'll die on this one. I'll die on this hill. It's just a woolly bugger tied to the ass of something. More often than not. So
It's kind of like your, like a circus peanut.
There goes our monetary.
they're all exactly. It's just
It's
hey,
basically
it's
a-
a hot take, but I'll sit on that one.
It's basically a bugger.
Exactly.
A woolly bugger.
You're
So,
just tying a woolly bugger in the back. Change out some materials if you want to make it a little tighter. I use bucktail as opposed to marabou, and then the what's it called? Sparkle yarn or emerger yarn, just because it poofs a little bit more. I can kind of mold it in the direction I want it to go.
I love this for dry flies. Anything dry for the wings?
It's good for parachutes
Parachute.
and the wings.
My
Yeah.
gosh, man.
What is it, hairline?
Just
Parapost wing? Or
I do got some
Or is
the
this-
parapost is better for making that, but these are actually
Trigger
just called sparkle emerger yarn is technically what it is.
have you tied anything with the trigger point?
I haven't used the trigger point. I've seen it. It's a little bit finer, isn't it?
Man, it works really good for floating.
True.
For your
Well, so-
topwater flies.
I got you.
It works really good.
So yeah, this stuff isn't necessarily going to float. It will suck up, and it's more so just poofy in the
Okay.
water.
I like that.
Helps build out that kind of tail shape for me.
True. Seth, you are, before we left,
Oh yeah,
you're attaching.
So yeah, the only thing that's changed since we last were talking about it is I just got that little bit of backing that we took. So I just used 30-pound because it's a bass fly. Bass aren't going to go chomping through this. I mean, hell, I'd be surprised if trout went through that.
True.
But at the same time, you'll see a lot of guys use wire bite or wire connectors. And again, usually there's a couple beads here, but I ran out, so I don't have any. But
Fair enough.
Too bad you work at a fly shop.
yeah, I'm out of beads. Whoops.
Back order.
Honestly, no. More often than not, like fly shops have good bead selections. But if I'm getting beads somewhere, go to like Joann Fabric.
I was about to say, you don't need a specialty bead. There's
a
those
bead's
ones
a
that
bead is
sculpt.
bead is bead.
Yeah, you can
Yeah.
get sweet ones.
Like
Designs.
you could get awesome
Amazon,
beads.
you can
Any
get just
kind of bead.
assorted like 100 packs, and they're just random things.
Yeah.
Have you tried the egg? Just like those Spirit River UV eggs.
I have actually, like the ones that you can kind of like burn and then
Yeah.
throw them in. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So got the 6 mil, 8 mil, 10 mil.
Oh, yeah. Let's see. Get some there.
Put some duck feathers on it.
There you
Speaking of ducks,
Speaking,
Oh.
you have. I forgot you are a hunter. I haven't hunted at all this year. I haven't even been out.
a friend of mine, he lives in Pennsylvania and actually sent me a nice bag of wood duck feathers. Some good looking
Okay.
feathers for some
Yeah.
fly tying. So I'm excited about getting some of those out and start working with them. And he had never fly fished before, and I took him out last month.
Okay. What was he using? You got to start there.
Well, of course, he's never fly fished before, and we got him hooked up with one of my friends that works for a guide service, and we went down a 19-mile float
Wow.
on South Holston River.
That's aggressive for a first timer.
Yeah, and he used an old, I think it was a Imperial St. Croix 2-piece rod. That's what the guide gave him. I'd love to have that rod.
Yeah.
Great rod. I mean, it just casts so good, and it's for an older rod. They need to make more of them.
Yeah, I wonder.
It's a great rod.
Wonder where you can get that. I wonder if eBay is about the only place you can get that.
Maybe.
Okay.
But that's what we had him using, and he caught fish all day long and absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
And I think he's going to
Yeah,
try his hand. Yeah, tug is the drug.
That's
So I think
Tug is the drug. I
he
like
got
that.
tugged on a lot that day, so I think he's looking forward to it.
Gotcha.
So I'm gonna tie him up some flies and send them to
Probably an
him.
exchange.
I believe that'll be exciting for him.
This is mine.
And, of course, he's
Cable
gonna be
boy.
looking for a setup, so I've got some few setups in mind I think will work for him.
Fair enough. What setup are you using right now? I forgot to ask that in the beginning.
For trout, I've been using my Echo Trout Series rod
Okay.
with the Nautilus XM reel.
I love that reel too.
Sweet. I got the blue TFO blue ribbon 4-weight with the Nautilus reel on it.
Okay. That's also for trout.
My wife pretty much confiscated that rod and reel
That's okay.
because the reel is
Sacrifices, man.
Yeah.
Sacrifices. That's what it's about.
the reel's purple, and that was I was looking for the XS
Oh yeah.
and couldn't find one.
Yeah.
I mean, I called every fly shop between here and Timbuktu, and
Is that in Tennessee? Or?
yeah, pretty much, pretty much. But I called a guy in Florida, and he said we've got another shop in North Carolina. He said call our shop over. He said I think we have one. So I called him. He said yeah, I sure do. I got one. Try here. I said all right, what do you want for it? Because I figured it was just a standard black or the what is it, platinum or the silver,
Yeah.
clear, whatever they call it.
Yep.
And it was the purple one. I was like, I kind of gritted my teeth. I was like, man, I know this is going to cost more, but I said send it to me. So he did.
Because they are sweet. They're
Yeah.
so cool.
Oh man, they've got the absolute best sound to them when you hook up and
Yeah.
one's ripping it. You can hear it. Those that nice metal gear.
Yep.
Just you can hear it.
That's
I
a
love
nice
it.
reel, yeah.
Smooth. I mean, they balance good on those rods. Really like them.
Yeah.
And if I buy more, that's probably what it'll be. Is the Nautilus. Have been looking at some Bowers. Been looking at some Abels.
Yep.
Now you're talking.
Bowers is such a
Some
smooth.
Abels here.
I mean, they make zero sound.
Been looking at the Animus.
Yep.
Ross Animus.
Yeah.
I'm an LTX guy. I mean, I have an Animus, but I think I like my LTX
Yeah.
a little bit more.
So yeah, I've been looking at some of those. Don't know if that's what I'll commit to yet or not. But
Christmas around the corner. Yeah.
exactly. So, honey, if you're watching this, Bauer, Abel, Ross Animus, I'm good with either one of them.
At the bottom of this video, there'll be a description with links to the website. You can.
Yeah, just call and talk to Country, Seth, or Kyle, and just tell them who you are. They'll know exactly what to get.
I'm gonna warn you, just like everything else when it comes to Abel, the prettier it is, the more it hurts.
Cost.
Yeah.
Yes,
That's
yeah.
100%.
And the longer the way it is, too.
It's like Greg says, if you can't use it, at least paint it pretty.
if it ain't fast painted pretty.
Yeah.
Pretty. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think the podcast with you guys had Greg, and he was, you're standing out in the middle of the river with a Winston and a Abel.
Yep.
If you don't know how to use it, at least make it pretty.
Yeah.
Oh,
At least look good on the water.
Yeah, at least look good on the water.
Man. Oh, now everyone stops and look at Seth again.
Well, while we're looking at Seth, during the break, we had a conversation about what Seth's nickname. So you have given a lot of guys in the shop nicknames. Peaches, Kyle down there on the end. I don't know where mine came from. Was it Parker? Big country. Came
Big
from
country.
Parker.
Yeah, that was a P start.
But you got one for Seth. Normally we call Seth Rees or whatever customer service Rees. It usually just
Son of a.
Call him some other names.
I call him names when he's not around. But what did you come up with?
Either Ducky or Babyface.
Babyface.
No,
Yeah,
where?
because I seen the picture of you at Slagle, and you were all clean
I'll
cut.
try to get that. I'll try to get it.
Yeah,
Put it up here.
And you was all clean cut, nicely shaven, and everything. You just had that nice, clean baby face look. But you also had the hat on, so that kind of reflects to the Ducky.
That's fair. I was a different person back then.
That's fair, he
He's
says.
referring to Ducky from 16 Candles.
Yeah.
I'm definitely going to try to.
You gotta find that picture because
Find a picture,
with
put 'em
the
up side
with the
by side.
sunglasses. Yeah.
You nailed it. Like, I wonder if I can get a picture of Seth before Ducky and then Seth now and put them right here.
I think
I think
Ryan,
we can see what we're
Ryan
talking
can hook you up on the picture.
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta. You know what? If we're doing pictures, I gotta find that picture of Ryan that I put the Slim Jim guy.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah. He'll get a kick out of that. Ryan, you know where Seth lives if you're listening. We lost Kyle to a phone call, but what are you finishing up there now?
I'm just finishing up the head on this.
So
using Chocolate's filler flash. It's a little sparser than like the Game Changer material.
Yeah.
So
Looks a little finer, but still looks
it's a little
sparkly.
thinner, but yeah, I mean it builds out super well for heads that I
Okay.
found.
Have you tried any of the Palmer chenille?
I have, but it's not as long as this. Is the one issue?
Because I don't know. 'Cause I use a lot of the small Palmer chenille.
I gotcha.
Tons
And
of
it's close. I think this just has a lot more like flake to it.
It is a lot longer though.
Just wrapping it. How many times do you think that you wrap that around there, Seth?
Until I get to the head.
Yeah,
so you
it's-
just keep wrapping.
It's a bunch, and then you just kind of work your way, make sure all your materials face in the same direction as you do each wrap, so it lays evenly, and then just
Jason.
get up close. And then I always cut extra length than I really need, so I use like 4 or 5 inches realistically, but I need something to hold on to, so there's always going to be a little bit of a loss. Now I just keep like a scrap bag at the end, so I'll just always have little cutoffs or trimmings. So if I ever need something for another flyer, I'm like, oh man, I wish I had like just a little bit of flash. Like I can just pull these out. So I'll use my scraps and just make like Franken flies for the fun of it.
Throw away nothing is what you're saying.
I use the whole buffalo.
That's good. That's
Yeah.
good, as you should.
Yeah, it's
I like
I
that.
got that bison tattoo for a
Let's
reason.
do. I'm not going to put a picture of the bison tattoo
No,
because
no,
it's in a
that's-
not a precarious place, but
No, it's
I
just-
don't want to put a rating on our.
I'm not trying to
podcast.
drop my pants in the middle of
You probably shouldn't. My golly.
No, we don't need all that.
All right. Well, you look like you're wrapping it up there, Seth. So as you do that, I'm going to get some words of wisdom. Now, I called you a while ago and got some words of wisdom, but I figured why even use it if you're going to be here?
True,
So,
true.
if you had, I know you have in the past, if you would, your words of wisdom.
When I was on vacation last month before September, I'd fished kind of a slow day and was getting pretty aggravated, just could see the fish, knew they were there, they were jumping, they were rising, doing their normal thing, and I just couldn't get any hookups. No matter what I throw, dry droppers, streamers, small streamers, large streamers, nymphs, double nymphs, it didn't matter.
The kitchen sink.
Yes, I was throwing the kitchen sink, and then, I would pick up a couple fish here or there. Getting towards the end of the day, and bite was getting even slower, and I was just got really aggravated, and I was like, I'm just gonna pack it up and go. And I was like, no, I'm gonna give it one more cast.
One more.
And I just thought it over. I said, make it smooth, take your time, think about it, proper placement, proper drift. Just absolutely concentrate on this one cast and see how well it goes. And I did, and it paid off.
Hey.
I pulled in about a 20 or 22 inch rainbow on that one cast. I mean, I threw it out there, and it went out. It laid just as perfect, got the perfect drift, and it may have drifted 15 to 20 feet. One grabs it. I got it in and got a couple pictures, released it into the water. I packed up my stuff and I
And
left.
then you
I
left.
said I'm leaving on a good accord because my day, as aggravated as I was getting. So it would be just treat your last cast like it's your first cast.
Yeah.
Because everybody at that first of the day, when they're fishing, they're excited, they're really into it.
You're feeling it. You're feeling the fly and you're casting correctly. But I know myself a lot of times. I've been fishing on the Mad recently here, a little bit more by myself, just trying to get out and explore. But I heard your words of wisdom. And when I was fishing, when I was tired, I'd been out there probably about 2 hours and the sun was going down and I hadn't caught anything. It was like day 3. And I'm like, man, what am I doing? I know they put fish in here. I have records here that they put 10,244 of them in here. I have the stocking reports. I know the fish are in there. What am I doing? And so it was literally just calm down, Sean. Take a deep breath. Remember what Bobby said. Remember what you had just told me just 2 or 3 days before over the phone. And I was like, that's right. Just first cast. His last cast as good as the first one. And I just laid it out there and seriously, just like what they knew. Within feet, got it.
Yeah.
And he was just a little guy and a stalker. But you know what? I was done. I was out.
That was the inspiration, though.
Yes.
And it talked you through it.
Yep.
But
Take a deep breath.
If you'll treat every cast like it's your first, it just feels like to me, you pick up more productivity. But it's so easy to get overwhelmed, get caught up in the moment, get the frustration. It's easy for it to get away from you.
Tired.
And you got to sit down and talk yourself through it.
Yeah.
Let's
calm down.
Yeah. Have a snack.
And yeah, that's another one. We're not. I don't have any here, but cheese crackers. That's what I got from Father Greg.
Yes.
Those peanut butter crackers,
yes.
Man. I have a pack of those in my bag because they'll save your life on the river.
Don't leave home without it.
No.
I'll always have one in my pack.
You feel run
always.
down and you have a cracker. I'm not playing. It
changes everything.
I don't understand it. Nobody told me this. I'm 30-something years old.
Bobby, there you go.
Thank you, sir.
Murdich, man. And he finished.
Articulated Murdich.
Articulated Murdich.
Which is nowhere near the original Murdich, but it's my version of a Murdich, so.
And you saw it tied here on the podcast. We have the footage.
I do.
And I'm going to put it up there, hopefully, on this video so you can watch
me
doing it.
Put me together, and by all means, slow and steady makes.
I'm going to put this on the smallmouth waters.
Okay.
If I catch something on it, I'll send you the picture.
You let me know. Absolutely.
Now,
well, R&D, let me know how it works.
Yes.
I know the original version of this fly works, so I got hopes for it.
Okay.
Same color scheme, just one hook, where I just made single, your more traditional, just single hook Murdich, but
True.
Yeah, Phil got me with the what every fly needs, more hook.
More hooks.
It's 4 materials, it's
Can they
fairly
Venmo?
simple.
Can people Venmo you for one of these?
Oh, God, no.
Will you teach people how to tie these?
That's what the video's for.
I love your answer, sir. All right.
Y'all figured out like I did.
Before we wrap up, I want to give a quick shout out. This is just fun stuff that I found to 11 people in Australia, 10 people in Germany, 6 people in Norway, 3 people in Iceland, 2 people in Canada, and a person in Ireland and France, respectively, for downloading the last Sip in the Dry podcast. And I mean, I personally appreciate that immensely. And
we're international.
oh, my golly,
Yeah, we are international.
I was going to say,
that
I
feels
don't
good.
Yes,
have
it
we
does.
ever gotten a picture of that map up there?
We haven't. We actually have a map of everywhere that we've shipped to. Now, maybe not everywhere because
We haven't updated that in a long time.
It's been a minute, but all the little pins of everywhere we've ever shipped to, and we'll take a picture and
we'll Google Maps it and try to get it as close to like on the
every
map as where
time.
they
Yeah.
are.
Yeah, we're pretty good. So we'll take a picture and we'll try to put that. It's on social media, probably on our Instagram.
Yeah,
That
we'll
would
throw
be
it
cool.
up somewhere. We're probably gonna get comments like, "Oh hey, bottom right blue, that's me."
All right, Bobby. Thank you.
Oh, thank
again
you guys
for stopping by.
It's always a pleasure to drop by. I mean, it's fun in here. It really is.
We appreciate
You know,
it
we
every
always-
time you come.
We come up with a nickname or something for somebody, so it makes it fun.
So we got Ducky, Peaches, Country. If y'all would like this video, comment any questions that you have for me on Seth's Murdich Minnow. I'll pester him until he answers and I'll get back to you.
I'll let you know how it's done. Granted, it's no two Murdich minnow are quite the same. Because like any other fly I
No two
tie,
fish
is, you
are the
know,
same.
I did it one way. Let me see if I can do it with this. All right, now let me see what this color looks like. All right, now can I change the hook size? Okay, well, you know, I'm just gonna keep refining it and If it catches a fish, it catches a fish. If it doesn't, I had fun tying it.
If it doesn't, you're still going to keep tying it.
I
You're
try
not
to
going to
tie
stop.
at least 6 and see if I can make 6 all
That are all like
exactly
identical.
identical.
That's
Yes,
what I
just
did
like
with
production.
the original murder.
And sometimes that's hard to do.
it is.
I mean, there might be just a little variation to it, but sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, but it still
That's fair.
fishes.
I will say, more often than not, the less material, the better off you are.
Yes.
The more you try to bunch up in there and the more you try to throw into it, it just gets messy. So tie it sparse the first time, see if it works, and then add a little bit more material.
You can
There you go.
always.
I mean, you can. So this is kind of the opposite. You can
It's
always
the
remake
opposite.
it and add more on, but getting started with the material, especially with some of these materials, I mean, they can get expensive. So
Yes,
better off to
absolutely
use
they
a
can.
little bit the first time and kind of work it out, and then start moving into like, all right,
It's like hackle.
Yeah.
no,
Good whiting hackle. Oh, trust me, I know. I've got several different capes, and
You knew better.
Yeah, hey.
You're gonna use them. That's the other side.
Yeah,
of it,
I mean,
though. it's you're getting a good quality product, and you're gonna use it.
Yeah, and it's a good winter project when it's really trashy outside and you can't go nowhere or really don't want to go anywhere. It's just something to do to me on the weekend. And I
Might
might
as
as
well.
Absolutely.
You're going to need them.
I mean, I can sit there and tie flies all day. You know, I'll get up at 6 a.m.,
Yeah.
start tying flies. Before you know it, I'm like, man, it's 5 o'clock in the afternoon.
I mean, TV's on. You just have something on in
Yeah.
the background.
Got some good coffee going, and fly boxes was filling up full of flies, so it's good.
It's expensive buying flies from a fly shop too. I mean,
Yes.
It can be.
Yes.
I'm not
Very
gonna say.
quickly.
I'm not gonna say it's cheaper doing it yourself either. Though.
Yeah. The
No.
material. I mean, I guess
Maybe you
depends
feel
on-
better.
Depends your output.
Oh no, you'll feel a whole lot better when
Yeah.
you catch a fish on something.
Oh,
you
yeah,
made.
absolutely.
Yeah.
But like midges, they're simple.
Oh yeah.
Hook, bead, thread, wire, you're done.
You can pop
True,
those
yeah,
out.
you can-
I mean,
All
Zip
day
through.
long.
sit down
Once
with
you
a
start
cocktail
getting
and
up into these,
you can
it's like-
figure out how to tie
Yeah.
a couple dozen of them.
Oh, you can get exotic with them if
Yeah.
you want. You just add all kinds of stuff to them. They're so simple and so fast, and they're very productive flies.
Yes, they
They're
are.
very productive.
You're not
I
gonna
use a lot
stab
of them.
yourself as much.
I use a lot. I mean, I tied up 25 dozen over the winter.
Yeah.
Did you even go through all those?
I gave a lot away.
And that's
Yeah,
what I
yeah.
found more often than not. You're gonna give away more flies that you've tied than you'll fish them.
You actually fish. Yeah, I got a lot from Dwyer. He used to work.
Dwyer
at
tied a
Buddies.
bunch of
He
those
gave me
bad
a
hair
lot of my
days.
ties to start. Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, at
I
what
mean,
point?
Dwyer's still tying some monster flies like that. That dude's fishy.
When you'd have all these flies, that your fly boxes are full. Your spare, your backup boxes are full. You've still got an abundance of them. What do you do with them? I asked a friend of mine that. He said, just take pride in what you do and give them away.
Share.
He said you got your money's worth out of them because you got to enjoy some quality time of just peace and quiet.
Peace, quiet. I mean, it's a good hobby. I mean, you're
It's-
working on dexterity, your patience. It's
It's very common.
more zenning than you would expect.
Yeah.
And to get a fly from somebody you know or somebody you meet, that means them a little bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel
Yeah,
like. 'Cause
I
when you
worked
get
on
out there,
this-
you're like, I got this
Yeah.
from somebody who knows. Even if you maybe know anything, you're just like, yeah, I tied this.
Kinda
fly.
reminds me of
but you still you're going to be confident, and
Yeah.
that is key.
Little
Yeah.
kid drawing you a picture. Hey, I made this for you. But it's fly. Yeah, it's the
I'm gonna put it on the
adult version
fridge.
of that.
Awesome.
Oh, yeah.
It's going on the fridge.
It's
man.
going on the fridge.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll throw this. I'll throw this on the water.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It'll go. It'll go. It's going
I'm
on the
gonna throw
leader.
it in a tree, though. I'm not gonna lie. It's probably where it's gonna end up now.
That's why I gave it to
Don't
Bobby.
say that.
All right, like this video, please comment any questions you have. Follow us on the River, Spotify, Amazon Music, or wherever you get your podcast from. And we'll see you next time. This has been Sippin' the Drive. Take it easy.
Thank you.